Welcome to Compassion Speaks, where we give a voice to the nonprofits in the community. I'm your host, Kevin Weaver, and today on our show we have Fran D'Amato, a caregiver support counselor for hospice. Welcome, Fran. It's D'Amato, right? Did I say it right?
Right, D'Amato,
Okay,
that's right.
I don't want to butcher your name. Although I got a little Italian in me, so D'Amato. Very good. Fran, it's a privilege to have you here.
Thank you.
And I want to ask you, what is a caregiver support counselor?
Well, caregivers, we have volunteers, and the volunteers go and visit patients and families that are terminally ill.
Okay.
The volunteers do a variety of things, just depending on what the need is. We're there for the patients, but all in all, we're there almost more for the families because they need relief. We do visits where my volunteers will just play cards or they'll run errands. They can do meal prep. All of it is non-medical.
Okay.
But during that transition time, it's really important for that support, not only from family, but from outside sources that are educated in spiritual crisis bereavement counseling. That way, if there's questions that the family has or even the patient has, the volunteers are educated in trying to answer those questions for the family so that this transition and this journey, we try to make it as easy as possible for both the patient and the families.
Okay, yeah, I got it. And of course, it's no surprise. People know that. I'm a chaplain for one of the local hospices. And so my question was not for my own knowledge. I was leading you to this. I know that when people are given a terminal diagnosis, the patient, hospices and the local services swarm around the patient, and rightly so. They're the star, and we're going to bring our supports, our services, and our resources to them. Now on the fringes, and who are equally important because it's a unit of care, are families who may not be given the information or the education that they need to anticipate what to expect.
Right.
That's what a caregiver support counselor is.
Exactly.
And so what kinds of things do you have in mind or are you doing for, and let's say that the patient, they're cared for, they're where they need to be, they're in a good place, I mean, they're loving life. What about this family? What are we doing to help them and inform them?
Well, when the family and the patient gets that sort of news, you can sort of picture them falling back. And we're there behind them.
Oh, very good. Good point.
To brace them. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of crisis. It's spiritual counseling, which we have, as you are well aware, the spiritual part of it, but also just listening. A lot of the volunteers, when they sit down, they listen. They listen to the patient and the family. Get those questions and try to answer them as best as they can.
Right.
But I think that listening and understanding gives them an outlet. And it's sort of like, and I use this analogy quite a bit, and it's sort of like being in between frustration and obligation. You have an obligation to your family member to take care of them during this time.
Right.
However, it's very frustrating because a lot of the family members may not have other family members to relieve them, to even go out to lunch and just get away for a few minutes. And that's one of the things that the volunteers do. We also have a harpist that goes into the facilities and plays music. I've got two, and up and coming another one, that are pet therapy, where they'll bring their dogs into the facilities. And it's remarkable what those animals can do for the people that are terminal. It kind of brings them a little peace. So, and other than that, I mean, errands, the caregiving relief, and like I said, it's non-medical, so they don't do anything medical, but and we do this for the bereavement and the counseling, spiritual and crisis counseling. It's done 13 months after the patient has passed, so that the family is assured that they're going to have that support to carry through until their journey is completed.
So to me, a big part of that 13-month follow-up maybe happens on the other end, on the very beginning. Now, you told me that you are going to, or you have begun did you call it a caregiver cafe?
Right. Caregiver Cafe.
Let's talk about a caregiver cafe.
Caregiver Cafe is the second, it's the second Tuesday of every month. We meet at on Commerce, and you can call the phone number to get all the rest of the information on the location. But basically what we do is we give the caregivers tools.
Right, there you go.
We give them tools, and it is an adjustment. So they come together trading stories, trading sometimes frustrations, trading ideas. Well, what do you do in this instant? It gives them that additional support.
Right.
And we do that regardless of whether or not they are a hospice person that is under our hospice care,
right,
or not. It can be the public that needs that. And then we also have the grief group that is at hospice as well.
Yeah, Fran, I think that this is vital to have you here today to get this information to the community, because information, it is power. And part of what I know any hospice would want to do is empower people to a better, more comfortable lifestyle. I ran into a woman in the community just a couple of days ago, and she said her mother died on hospice just 3 months ago. A hospice up in Joseph City, out of Flagstaff, that came and visited with them. And they said the hospice was just fantastic. The care that we received, the nurses were wonderful, all the supports were great. However, they as a family, they didn't know what to expect. And so the caregiver support, the Caregiver Cafe, resources and tools and all that we can do to bring into families to help get them to a place of understanding, a little bit of expecting what's coming next.
Correct, and that's one of the things that the volunteers do, is they bring this. We call it the Hope Satchel.
A Hope Satchel.
Hope Satchel, and basically what it's got in it, it's got a pad of paper and a pen, because during this time when you're sitting next to your loved one, thoughts come up into your head. Oh, I need to call him, or I need to make arrangements. It gives them the ability not to even move. They can just write it down.
Sure.
Puzzle book, just to pass the time. Some sweets and some crackers, because during that period of time, hunger is not an issue. You really kind of lose your appetite. So there's some candies. There's some antibacterial, not the lotion, but the gel that's in there. And then also I provide 2 different readings. And they're from Barbara Carnes. She's a nurse, and she actually has a video called Gone From My Sight, but she also published the book. And the Gone From My Sight is the dying experience. Basically what this is it allows the reader to understand what's coming, what happens, breathing, coloring of the skin, the lack of appetite. All of these things are explained in here so that there's not that confusion. Oh my gosh, what's happening?
Right.
This explains it. The second one that I provide is called My Friend I Care.
Hold it up.
And it's basically, it's the grief experience, and it kind of helps you understand the do's and don'ts. Don't get rid of their things right away. Don't sell the house right away. It's okay when you're sitting next to them to laugh and joke and tell stories. That's okay. Feeling that you kind of wish the end would come soon and there would be peace. You feel guilty, but it's okay. It's a natural thing. Both of these books are very welcome to the patients and the families.
So we have the Hope Satchel.
Correct.
And of course I've used these. I've read these. They really are quite basic and very quick reads, but very helpful. Gone From My Sight, My Friend I Care, and the Hope Satchel. Now, I know for a fact that you do not have to be on hospice to get some of these resources.
Correct.
If you're interested, if any of this could help you, call the number. I'll give it to you. And of course, it'll be on at the end of the program, 928-368-4400. You can call and you can ask for Fran or even myself, and we can get those mailed out to you, or maybe bring them by. And because the services that we're talking about today, are absolutely free of charge.
Right.
And nobody gets reimbursed for these services. No companies, there's not a hospice in America that makes money on these programs.
Correct.
These are programs that Medicare requires that all hospices have. The 13-month bereavement follow-up, the pre-bereavement caregiver support. There are expectations and they're actually mandated. And so nobody makes money on this stuff.
No, and my volunteers that go, it doesn't matter where they travel, they're not reimbursed for their time or their travel, gas expense, anything. They do this out of the goodness of their hearts, which, by the way, we are looking for more volunteers.
So again, if you want to be a volunteer, and I can tell you, you can either ask for Fran or ask for me, and if hospice isn't someplace you'd like to volunteer, ask for me. I've got all kinds of places around town where you can volunteer. You know, Fran, our time has just shot by. So please call 928-368-4400. Give us your name, address. We'll mail this stuff to you absolutely free of charge. We'll tell you about support groups in the area. We have grief support groups that are available. Fran is facilitating a caregiver, what'd you call it?
The Caregiver Cafe.
Caregiver Cafe. We want to put resources and tools in your hands because we care about you. Ms. Fran, I haven't known you long, but what I've come to know over the last few weeks and months, I absolutely love. Thank you for being who you are and what you do. We'll have you on again, and we'd like you to stay tuned, and we will be right back with our next guest. Welcome back to Compassion Speaks. Joining us now on the show is President George Coursey and Vice Director of High Country with the Sheriff of Navajo Auxiliary Volunteers. That was a mouthful, gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me, what is an SAV, a Sheriff Auxiliary Volunteer? What are you guys?
We assist the Navajo County Sheriff's Office with various functions so that the officers can stay on the road and look for the bad guys and do their job as law enforcement. We have no law enforcement power at all.
Oh, okay.
We are strictly volunteers, and we work parades, we do road closures, we do the county fair. We have a house watch program, currently around 360 houses in the county that we watch. We do lots and lots of fingerprinting throughout the county, and we assist with fires and emergency situations. So basically anything the Sheriff's Office needs us to do in ancillary activities, that's what we do.
Boy, it sounds like you guys are really incredibly important. You think about all the things that you just described to me, and I'm sure that there are more. If our paid law enforcement officers, Sheriff's Department, et cetera, had to do those things, boy, it would just bind up their time. So, yeah, well, thank you for what you do. It sounds like a really an amazing group. So you said that you guys are strictly volunteers.
That's correct.
You know, all volunteer programs, and of course that's part of why you're here, is to talk about your program and maybe help raise some funds. Where do your funds come from?
All strictly donations. We are a 501c3, and our only support comes from donations.
Now you said that you, and I didn't realize that. I was a little surprised. You do home watches, and some 360 homes that we said?
Throughout the county, that is correct.
That's a lot of houses.
Yes.
And so it's people who really kind of give donations to you for that service. That's where the monies are coming from?
That is correct. The service is a free service, and we don't ask for donations, but we obviously accept donations.
Of course.
Through the generosity of the people who ask us to watch their home, they give us donations.
So what kind of funds do you get from the Navajo County Sheriff's Department?
We get none.
Oh.
We have no funding from the county whatsoever. The Sheriff's Office provides us a vehicle.
Okay.
It's a fully marked sheriff's vehicle.
Okay.
And gas.
You get one vehicle per sector?
We got 2 units in High Country.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, correct. And actually, we have 11 vehicles
Okay.
throughout the county.
And those are provided by the Sheriff's Department?
That is correct.
What about the clothes on your back?
We provide those ourselves.
Terrific.
And the shirts are provided to everyone who graduates the SAV Academy.
Okay. And here's the point I'm making. This is a program that you guys, it's actually costing you money to be volunteers.
That is correct.
And I think people need to know that, because this is a very worthwhile program. And, when you see these guys around, and I know I work for a local hospice, and we have the 5K Memorial Walk on Memorial Day, and you guys come over and help us with traffic control. And it's a really important part of the event that we have. And maybe you don't get the recognition that you should in the community. That's why I really wanted to bring you on. And not to mention, both of you have an award here. And we'll start with the 2015, 2016. I'm going to make them pen in on it if they can, or maybe they won't. I don't know if they pay attention to me or not, George, to be honest with you. But it says the Director's Award. What's the Director's Award?
It's the Director of the Year, and I received it this year, much to my very much to my surprise. The units get together, and the sheriff's staff, who helps us with the SAV, they get together every year, and they identify the Director of the Year for outstanding performance.
Very good.
And I was fortunate and blessed this year to receive that award.
Very good. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And now you're not a director anymore. You're the big kahuna.
I am now president.
You're
That's
on top.
correct.
You're the president.
Yes.
And then I have over here the Volunteer of the Year award. Now, I wasn't there when this was presented, so I'm going to take a little bit of a liberty, because Terry is my brother. And so you don't get a lot of opportunity publicly to say that I'm very proud of you. And
Thank
this
you.
award, it does mean something, Volunteer of the Year. So what do you do to become Volunteer of the
I
Year?
support my unit, and I support our organization, and whatever they need, I do.
I guess that it boils down to that, doesn't it? The basics. I support this. I will involve myself. I will be engaged. I will commit myself. I'll develop a work ethic. And even though you're volunteers, you can have a work ethic.
That's correct.
And you know that I've always been involved in public safety all my life anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, this is it's incredibly important stuff. Do you guys have any fundraisers coming up? Anything that you want to talk about?
Nothing at this point in time. We are working on a few fundraisers, a little late in the year this year, but in the past we have. Last year we raffled off a gorgeous boat.
Oh.
Absolutely beautiful boat.
Okay.
Boat that was donated to us. And we cleaned it up and raffled it off very successfully. This year we're looking at some rustic furniture.
Oh, terrific.
That's about to be donated to us. It's brand new, and it's pretty popular here. And so we're looking at acquiring that and holding a raffle.
Now, you do a fundraiser for the Sheriff's Department, or maybe it's for your program. It's at the 100 Club or something like that?
It's for the Sheriff's Office. It is the 100 Club, and it's a national organization. There's a chapter here in Arizona, and we just completed the 3rd year.
Okay.
And actually the Sheriff's Office just completed the 3rd year of the 100 Club fundraiser here on the White Mountains. It's held every year in May or early June, and here in Show Low. And every penny donated at that fundraiser goes to the 100 Club.
Okay. And what kinds of things does the 100 Club do with those finances?
The 100 Club is an organization that assists first responders and law enforcement who have been injured or fatally injured on the job.
Oh.
And they are some of the first people who respond to help the families.
Wow.
Great organization.
So you had your fundraiser in May, but I'll bet you if we left the phone number and a way to make contact, you would be accepting maybe of some funds toward that program as well now?
That is definitely possible. I, however, do not have that number available at this moment, but it would be through the Navajo County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Well, then you could get a hold of that, or we can maybe, if you guys have any kind of numbers, if you wouldn't mind giving, your own personal context, because what we want to talk about is you have fundraiser efforts, and also you're involved in doing some recruiting. I would dare say that the SAV probably could use some more volunteers.
Yes, we could.
Yeah, that is correct. We are about to kick off a recruiting drive here in the White Mountains, and we have a symposium internal going on in early August to get everybody on board singing from the same songbook, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And we are aggressively going to seek new recruits. We're growing by leaps and bounds. We have 5 units in Navajo County, and we are more and more asked every day to do more and more public
Well,
service.
let me ask you, George. 5 units. What are the locations of the units?
High Country, we call it here. It's Show Low, Pine Top, Lakeside.
Okay.
White Mountain Lakes.
Oh, okay.
Snowflake Taylor is Cedar Hills,
Okay.
Holbrook,
Mm-hmm.
and Heber Overgard.
Okay. That's 5.
Yes.
They all have their pet little names.
Yes.
High Country, Cedar Hills.
Yes.
So something to belong to, something to help, which is, is extremely necessary. Along the lines of recruitment and volunteers, do you recruit and bring any type of youth into your programs?
Absolutely. We have started last year our junior cadet program.
Excellent. What are the ages
And
for that?
It's 13, the youngest, 13 to 18.
Oh, wow.
And we are this fall. We're going into schools to try to let them know that we do in fact have this program. We have 1 member right now.
Oh, okay.
In our youth program, and it's a pleasure to work with them. They're eager and very, very, very interested in learning.
I think I met him at our memorial walk. There was a young man there. Now, what would the training, or what would that look like? A young person coming in, what would the expectations be? What kind of training would you offer? Are they going to get a uniform? Those kinds of things.
They will have a uniform exactly as we are wearing at this moment,
Huh?
and they will learn traffic control.
Okay.
They will learn public relations. They will learn fingerprinting. They will learn school security.
Wow, excellent,
We
excellent.
sometimes help the sheriff's office with school security, and anything else that is safe for them to be exposed to.
Can a person a young person that age be out on the streets directing traffic?
Only with another SAV.
Okay. All right,
Only.
great,
They will
great.
never be left alone.
Okay.
In fact, I shadowed one at the Cholo days.
Okay.
He
Very good.
shadowed me around.
Very good.
Yes.
So in Navajo County, I mean, if there are any young people listening, or parents, grandparents, whoever you are, challenge your family members, your grandchildren, your children, to get a hold of these guys, especially if you're interested in a career in law enforcement. This might be a wonderful way to get a little bit of experience and to be actively involved in some of the things that law enforcement officers do.
Absolutely. It's an excellent stepping stone.
What a wonderful, wonderful program. So you guys got a lot going, a lot happening. We've got just a little bit of time, but let me ask you this, and we'll begin to wrap up with this. Where do you find the time? I mean, a director of the year and a volunteer of the year, you didn't get these awards because you're only this much involved. You got them probably because you're this much involved. How do you find the time?
That is correct. Well, most of us are retired.
Right.
And we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't want to.
Right.
We enjoy it. And so the time is whatever we volunteer to do, we accept that time.
And I'm just fortunate enough to have a job where I can schedule my time for the SAVs with it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I thank you guys for what you do, and a very special thanks to the SAVs. And I've often heard it said that if you want to get something done, find a busy person, and they'll help you get it done. So, what a wonderful program! Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your efforts, your involvement in the community. Congratulations on your awards.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to talking to you guys again.
Thank you for having
So,
us.
you're welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and tune in next month to hear Compassion Speak.